All right, I think it's working. So, the reason we are doing this wonderful class for you guys is we had taken a pause on our journey to baby friendly, and we are ramping back up and should be having a site visit within the next few months from the baby friendly people. So everyone who was hired after the end of 2014, with the exception of new grads and CLCs and IB-CLCs, has to have this education completed and documented. So I was telling Bobby, you guys know a lot of this stuff, so we can go as quickly through it as you want, but really ask me questions when you have them.
A lot of it pertains more to like well babies, right?
Most of the baby-friendly components do pertain to well babies. That being said, it does apply in the NICU. It's just a little bit different in the NICU.
Okay.
Did you guys have the chance to take that pre-test?
Oh, no, I didn't, sorry.
Okay.
Do I need to?
You're gonna skew my data, but that's okay. I'm just kidding. So that pre-test is a version of the survey questions that they will ask. And that's why I did it pre and post, just to make sure you guys have learned something.
Shoot. Do you want me to come back for another class?
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. All right, so I put this together with a couple presentations that Kurtley had put together in the past, and with the information based on the baby-friendly steps. Here are our objectives for our class, but let's get into it. So, why do we want to use breast milk in the NICU? Why is it important? And really, it's because it's the best nutrition possible for our babies. It's species specific, so it has the right content of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats that our babies need to grow fully. And it's our ethical responsibility to inform parents that of the benefits of human milk. And a lot of research has shown that if you just start the conversation and provide the knowledge, they will almost immediately agree to at least provide milk, whether they fully breastfeed or just pump and bottle feed. Once they understand that it's a really critical component in the healthcare for their baby. So we all know the benefits of breast milk, right? So I listed a lot of them up here. Like I said, it's species and baby specific. It's protective against NEC and other infections. It's been shown to have improved feeding tolerance. Long-term outcomes show that it enhances cognitive and social development. And they've also been able to show that there's a protective factor against SIDS. So the other cool thing about breast milk is it has analgesic properties, and I think this is really important in the NICU. We often lean towards using sweeties to help these kiddos out, but the breast milk might actually be better. And you can just dip it in the pacifier. You would administer it the same way as the sweeties. If a baby is even to the point where they're breastfeeding, you can even like have mom breastfeed and do your heel stick at the same time. I know that's not a common practice in our NICU, but there's absolutely no reason you couldn't do that. Breast milk is free, and that's huge. So it's free and it's green, right? So there's this really cool statistic that Curtly had in one of her presentations, but basically, since breastfed babies are healthier children, their parents lose fewer working days, spend less money on medical costs associated with common illnesses, and it's estimated that if 90% of American mothers were to breastfeed, it would save the U.S. economy $13 billion in direct and indirect costs, which is kind of insane. That's a lot of money. It's also good for the mother-infant bond, of course, and it has protective health benefits for mom. So what do you say to these moms? If they have decided to provide milk for their baby, congratulate them. Be their cheerleader. You guys know, you watch this, it's a lot of work to do all this pumping, especially in the NICU. So, and then if they haven't decided or they're undecided, just make sure you're providing them with information about the benefits of breast milk and breastfeeding. And oftentimes when they're hesitant, it's because of challenges or fears that they have. So address those and give them tips on how to work around that stuff. But the key point for us is to respect all decisions. So if you've had the conversation and mom still chooses to not provide breast milk, that's okay. That's her choice. And it's not our role to bully them into providing milk. So expression this is the big thing in the NICU, especially. Breast milk is a use it or lose it system, right? So we really want to get moms pumping as soon as possible. It's easier to get them pumping and then for them to decide, you know what, this isn't for me, than it is for them to say, I don't think I want to, and then 2 weeks later go, yeah, I want to. We can help them try and reestablish a supply, but it's much more difficult and takes much more work. So moms of preterm infants are 2.8 times more at risk of not producing an adequate supply than moms of term fully breastfed infants. And that's because of all the things they experience in the NICU, right? So moms can often experience the delayed lactogenesis, the stress and fatigue alone of having a baby in the NICU really plays a factor in that, and the lack of maternal infant contact. Oxytocin is, the hormone of love, and it's a huge hormone involved in breast milk production and lactation. So without that constant contact, the supply can often take a hit. So like we said, we want early, frequent, and effective milk expression. So we want these moms to start pumping as soon as possible after delivery, at least within 6 hours. So again, like we said, it's all about the stimulation. So they need to be pumping at least 8 times per day. And they don't want to go for more than 5 hours once a day. And typically moms choose to get that 5-hour break in at night so they can rest. So there's many types of expression, right? We can do hand expression, we can do hands-on pumping, and we can do just electric pumping. So hand expression is a really great tool. Again, it's free. You don't have to have anything extra to be able to do this. So a lot of times moms of preterm infants can express more milk if they start with early hand expression. So it's the most effective when it's used at least 6 times a day in the first 3 days after the baby's born. Other things the hand expression can help with are engorgement, a blocked duct, when a baby's learning to breastfeed, and helping to get them attached if they hand express a little bit of milk. That helps. And it's good for moms who don't have access to a pump. So we're gonna attempt to watch this video. Last time it didn't load. This PowerPoint is on the shared drive. So if we can't watch it, if you have time, it's a great video to show you hand expression. But if not, I will walk you through it. Let's see if it works. Nope. Okay. So what I think the problem is, for if you guys watch it, is that there's not Chrome on this computer. So I think it's a video that needs to be viewed in
Yeah, because I think it's like YouTube has to pop up.
Google Chrome. Yeah.
It doesn't work with it.
Because it works perfect on my computer, of course. But we can still talk through it. So, steps to effective hand expression. How many of you guys have actually taught a mom how to hand express before? Forever ago, yeah. Yeah.
I just did. Basketball.
Perfect. A++. So these are really the 6 simple steps for teaching effective hand expression. I think where people often get mixed up is that they really they feel like they want to squeeze the breast and it should just come out. What you have to remember, just like in this bottom picture, is that you form that seat and then you're going to kind of pull back, put back pressure on the breast, and then roll forward. And that will help express the milk. The other thing you need to make sure that you're teaching moms is they don't want to just do it in one portion of their breast. They want to rotate all around the nipple and get all the quadrants expressed. Do you guys have questions? Does that make sense? Do you feel like you could help teach a mom how to do this? It's very simple.
Maybe I'll practice when I get home.
You can practice if you want. Hey, I have these beautiful crocheted boobs in my office. If you're bored at night, you can borrow them and practice.
You would like to play with the crocheted boobs. It's one in my office.
Okay.
So then pump expression. This is especially important for our mamas, right? So hospital grade pumps are very important. They help with a higher milk yield, and it's more efficient, and they help stimulate higher prolactin levels. So pumping at the bedside, if moms aren't comfortable doing that, they should be doing that because that helps with that oxytocin release as well. Here's just kind of a list of questions you can ask moms who are pumping to kind of get the conversation started. And that will give you an idea if you need to provide additional education for them. You can always contact lactation on night shift. I know we don't have full-time lactation coverage, but what you can do is you can call this phone number up here, 86034, after hours and leave them a message. So if you have a mom come in and you're trying to help her and you're not able to fully answer all of her questions, you can leave them, the lactation team, a voicemail, and they can get in contact with mom during the day when they're here and help her troubleshoot as well. So this is the big part here is how in the world do we even put the pump together, right? That's most often mom's biggest questions. So if you can help them with all these pump parts and like get it set up for them, that oftentimes can be the biggest relief.
And tell them not to use the stupid white thing.
Yes. So,
Yeah. They told me that, like, they wash them and throw them away, and I was like, no, that's like the key.
yes.
You have to have that to form suction.
Yes.
Who's that?
So,
You just throw away this whole set.
our pumps that we have in the, or our pump kits that we have work for both the Symphony pump and the Lactina pump. The Lactina pump is just a little bit older of a pump, and it doesn't have a specific preemie setting, whereas a lot of our Symphony pumps do. But either one
Is this
work
the rental
just
one, though?
fine.
It's closer to that one, isn't it?
I think the rental is closer to the Lactina. So oftentimes you'll see moms only using this yellow Symphony pump. And we have plenty of blue Lactina pumps, and they can use those too. They don't have to wait for a Symphony. So, like you guys said, this little white flimsy piece is the key to the pump. So either way, whichever pump you're using, you're gonna set up the collection chamber the same way. So the yellow piece will fit into, or the white piece will fit into the yellow piece. And that's, like Bobby said, how you create the suction. That fits on to this piece here, which then you screw on your collection container. This can be the one that comes in their pump kit. It can be a snappy, a volume feed, whichever.
Anything that screws on.
Whichever they're using, yes, it works there. So, and then the flange just slides in to this portion. So this is where we come to the difference in pump setup. If you are using the Lactina pump, you're going to take this piston and attach it to the pump itself. So, here's this piece. It goes right into this hole here. This part stretches, and you just want to snap it in to that white portion. And then your tubing connects into that part of the piston. And then the tubing goes into the back of the collection device. So that's all it takes. The things to know about the Lactina are you can adjust the pump in two different places for the suction. So this white piece here turns, and I'll pass around the piston so you guys can see it better. But this is your max suction, and this is your minimum suction. And you can also adjust it on the pump itself. You guys have questions about how to set that one up?
No, doesn't this turn into a hand pump too?
It does. So
I was gonna say.
if you have it set up just like that,
You can just-
all you have to do is move the piston part, and it
I
will.
don't know, it has it in the pamphlet.
Yes, it does. The other great thing that people often don't know about this Lactina is that on the back here, it gives you setup instructions. So if you forget which part goes where, you can look right on the back and it will show you.
Here you go. in the